Hello. This is William. I'm here with Occupy the Need Act. We're in a terrible fix. We've got this virus everywhere, and it seems we're going to start opening up our businesses um, so we can get the economy running. We don't need to do that. We don't need to get the economy running. We have a solution for uh, being able to provide income for everyone to meet their needs, our needs, with the NEED Act, with by occupying the NEED Act. Uh, we can create all the money that we need to do everything we need, buy all the toilet paper we need, or buy everything uh, without working, without going to a place of business to spread the virus. We can do that all. The president, the bankers want us to be working so we can pay them. Okay, our solution is in the NEED Act is one that's been done many times before in history. In fact, it was the reason we fought the Revolutionary War so we could create our own money, and then Hamilton and Washington gave it all away right away. 1787, it was given away to their friends who became our first bankers. Been a scam going on since the very beginning. The 13 colonies had no banks, none. They created their own money to do all the things that they needed to do, like build roads and bridges and do the things that they needed to do to make the economy, make the colonies work. The British came over and they wanted us to adopt their monetary system, which is a fractional reserve banking system, which creates all the money with debt. And and we said, fuck no, we're not going to do that. And we fought a war so we didn't have to do that. The British had this fractional reserve banking system for 150 years that they got from Holland. If you trace the history of money, the recent history of money, it came from Venice to Portugal to Holland to England and to us, all via the ability to build ships and navigate the seas. So here we are. We've got this system that is a horrible system, crashes regularly. And I mean, all you got to do is just remember. I know with my parents' generation, it was the Great Depression, and then with ours, in the 2000, there was the dot-com crash, and then 2007 and 8, there was the Great Recession, and now we got the the coronavirus recession, depression. If you don't have work, if you're a waitress, you're in a depression, right? I know the waitress that lives next door now. She's washing dishes uh, to be able to pay the rent. She says she's surviving. I don't know, and and so we're trying to open up the bars and restaurants here in Norman, where I live, Norman, Oklahoma, USA. So let me open the chat here and see if we've got anything in the chat. No, I don't. Not yet. Uh, uh, here we go. for let's see if I got that in there. There we go. Yeah. Occupy the Need Act for all the money we need, for everything we need without taxes or debt. This is the most liberal legislation. It's actually legislation. There's one called, it's a bill called H.R. 2990 of the 112th Congress. So it's the most liberal and libertarian idea that you can possibly have, because we can have all the money that we need to do the things that we need, like Medicare, like education, like housing, like transportation, free housing, free transportation, and a guaranteed annual income of, say, $40,000 a year. Because if we had, if minimum wage had kept pace with productivity since the 1950s, the minimum wage would be $40,000 a year. So we ought to be able to have a minimum wage, right? And we don't have to work for it. We can get it as a right of being a citizen. So this is the most liberal. If you're a liberal or a libertarian, this is for you. The Occupy the Need Act. The Need Act is for you. Here we are, the Need Act. T-H-E, Need Act. H.R. 2990. There we go. Of the 112th Congress. By former Congressman Dennis Kucinich of Cleveland, Ohio. There he is. He's in the chat. Okay. So I guess I could even put that in the caption. Here we go. Let's do that. Type a primary text. Okay. H.R. 2990 of the 112th. Okay. Let's see what we do here. I should be able to show it. Here we are, H.R. 2990 of the 112th Congress. That is the Need Act, created by former Congressman Dennis Kucinich of Cleveland, Ohio. A really good man until the Republican, he was a long-time member of Congress until the Republicans got him gerrymandered out because they recreated his congressional district where the Republicans controlled it. They got rid of him. But we're still not rid of him. He created this act, and we can, what we need to do here in Norman, if you're listening to me here in Norman, call Tom Cole and tell him to reintroduce H.R. 2990 of the 112th Congress, so that we can get it into Congress, so we can debate it and see what this is all about, so we can get public input, knowledge, so we can talk about this. Otherwise, they don't want us to talk about it. The bankers especially don't want us to talk about it, because what it does, it cuts them out of the deal. And the deal is $22 trillion in debt that we have to pay interest on. And all of the stimulus that they're doing now to save us, that's all debt. Yeah, it's zero interest debt, but it's debt that has to be paid back. It's a contract to be paid back. Of course, what we'll do to pay it back, we'll pay it back with other debt, right? Pay back debt with debt. Does that make any sense? And does it make any sense that that we have, just a second here, there's what the temperature is, 45 degrees here in Norman right now. Does it make any sense that a government that has the power to create money, it's in our Constitution, borrows money? I mean, does that make sense to you? Yeah, I'll tell you who it makes sense to. It makes sense to the bankers that we have to borrow the money off of. And right now, they're getting $1 billion a day in interest and fees and commissions from us people every day for things that we don't need to borrow money for. Why should we have to borrow money for transportation or pay for transportation? Why can't the government own all of the cars like Uber, and all you got to do is get on your right ear, punch the numbers in like this, and the car shows up at your front door, and it'll take you to where you need to do, and then we're going to have automatic cars that won't even have to have a driver. And what can the driver be doing? He can be doing what the fuck he wants to be doing, like going fishing, or like going to a sporting event, or like going to Rome, or going to Switzerland. You won't have to be driving the damn car to come and pick you up, or be a grocery clerk. It can all be automated, or working at McDonald's. That can all be automated. And where can those people be? They can be out at the lake swimming and having a good time with their friends and family. This Protestant work ethic that came here with the Pilgrims, and then promptly went over and destroyed the little town that was having a good time, Marymount. They don't want us to have a good time. And what I say we do with those people, those Puritans. And if you're a if you are a socialist, a liberty, you don't need to get to be 78 years old without losing your fucking mind or with your memory. So that's crazy. But if you're wanting to control people and put them in boxes so that they act a certain way, you can turn in your passport with all the other Puritans and get on the Mayflower, and we're going to send you out to sea, never to return to port again, because that's where you need to be. You're bothering us. The Puritan work ethic means, what it actually means is, you love your work, no matter how bad you're being treated or how little you're being paid. You love your work. I did that for years. Hell, I'm 78. I haven't worked a day for 16 years because I got that Social Security check, and that is a guaranteed annual income. And the way I live, I can live on that. And that's what I did whenever I was working selling cars for this dealership, was Volkswagen dealership, which is a pretty good dealership. But we had an accountant that kept cutting our commissions. He saw what we were making when we started selling $70,000 vehicles. we started doing really good with commission wise, and he didn't like that, so he cut our fucking commissions. And it wasn't long after that I got a letter from the Social Security that said how much I'd make if I retired at 62. Guess what? I went back in the back in the shop and talked to a couple of the old guys, some of the guys that had taken care of the the uh, the, the air cooled engine Beetles, the first ones. Uh, ask them what I should do because they would come in 5 or 10 hours a week to supplement their Social Security, and they said, "Get it now." So I said, "Tell Greg." I've gone to the Social Security office. I'll be back. And I did. I went, talked to the lady there, and set it all up. And I retired the first day that I could retire. And this damn accountant didn't pay me my last commission. And my birthday is in December. That I finally got for the last car that I sold, which was probably it was $800 commission. Uh, uh, went in the next year's pay, and guess what? That was the day. That was the time that things were crashing, and so there was a tax benefit that came to me, and the IRS sent me another $800. Pretty damn nice commission for one sale, and it was because of that tight ass accountant that didn't want to pay us. Uh, he screwed up there because I got paid twice. And so anyway, we got to take these kind of people out of control. People that want to control us, whether you're a whether you're a liberty guy, whether you're a socialist, whatever, you want to put us in a box. No, sir. That is, we have rights as citizens. Give us a guaranteed annual income, a good guaranteed annual income, and we will live the lives that we want to live, and not have to live what you want us to live. Whether you're a conservative or whatever the opposite of conservative is, you tell me. So let's get over here to chat and see if anybody's chatting with me. Nope, nobody's chatting with me. So anyway, this will be on YouTube, and it'll be on Twitter, and it'll be on Facebook, and uh, just call your congressman and say, "Hey, I heard this guy talk about uh, an act that former Congressman Dennis Kucinich introduced, and it's called HR 2990 of the 112th Congress. Look it up and reintroduce it so we can debate it, so we can get it out in public." So anyway, I will sign off now. It's good to talk to you, and think about this. This this is that will change everything. Okay. I think I got to reach right up here and punch finish. Bye now.